There's been a delivery with some bigger rocks in it. So interesting to see what happens with those. Looks like they've wanted some over the road as well. But yeah, there's more of this here as well. It's starting to form up the one that the eye bolt goes into. Here's the other border of the road, leaving that little gap there for the plants to thrive as they do at the tropics. Would you believe it? The chickens did get up there after all. Amazing. I think I've got a forecast that these trees might get a little bit abbreviated on the roadside. Get in the way. That leak from the bottom there kind of indicates that the seal on the bottom of the mixer bucket mightn't be closing up very well. More closely, there's chicken tracks on the other side here too. So there's two lots of chicken tracks and a cat track on yesterday's wet concrete, but I thought it was going to be spared because it had the plastic over it. Not so apparently. I've been hearing a bit of concrete mixing going on for the last few hours, so this will be some of it. Still making reinforcement frames. So some good ones. Bamboo for scaffolding is coming into the interior. They probably should put mesh over that pit again to try and provide a bit of safety. Formwork for the big beams in the sky starts. There'll be a few of those. Last night I was wondering why the state of charge of my off-grid batteries was so low when we went to bed. Then I figured it out. That thing there sucks 2100 watts, so it depleted them quite a bit. So that's why in the background currently you may be able to hear the genset running. I'll keep that running so long as that power wash is being used, just to make sure you don't deplete our state of charge too much further. As you can see, it's raining, so I'm not about to go out and check on the state of work at the work site out there, but you can also see Azra is doing the south end of the ramp up to his and Lizu's back patio. So if I walk around the north end of that, might be able to see a bit about what's going on. There he is up on top. Smooth the off the surface of that tank stand. I wonder if these troops down here will figure out that there's something up there that they can dance on. Wouldn't surprise me at all. That looks pretty good. That's Spider's scooter over there. So that was taken out today, and on the roads around here it gets muddy, so that was put over there to get a bit of a wash too, I'd say. Behind that cement shelter is the area at the east end of the shed there that I'm told is going to be a parking area. So that makes me wonder if this is going to be concrete from here across to the canal at the far side. We're using a lot of concrete. Just as well I bought a machine capable of making it. It was bucketing down again overnight, as can be seen by the water laying around again. And given we've started on the rendering of the outside of the water tank, I suspect that they've done the rendering on the inside of the water tank. That's what the efforts have been up to now. Yeah, not sure what else is going on. Lots and lots of steel work ready to go into it. Not sure if this is all following a plan or just making them and then using them as a think to later. Lots of craters from the rain on the new concrete. So let's see if we can find. Oh, there's a. No, that was a stone. Looking for chicken tracks. I'm sure there must be some here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe they were kept off by the rain. Oh, how about that? It's time for the afternoon circuit. Yeah, still lots of water laying there. Lots of bamboo. The rendering of the tanks is underway. Let's see what else is going on inside. Constructing the supports for the horizontal beams still. Lots of them. And giving them plenty of support. So it's going to be a forest of bamboo. Still seem to be accumulating reinforcement cages. Not quite sure what all of them are for, but there seems to be a lot of them. There's no prospect of me seeing what's going on in the tank unless I record it and look at it later. Wonder what I'll see. I'll say by tape measure like that, I think maybe it's reached the end of its days. It's not looking well. Lisa's house shares the same well and water system as our house primarily. So all this extra cooking that's being done for the team and the washing and so forth, that's been drawing the water from our well. Our well's about dry. Hence the need to have this other one here as well. And the tank that will be on there. But in future we'll have rainwater in those tanks that will be filtered and sterilised when it emerges via the pump. But one of the things we encountered yesterday was because there was no electricity on the mains, or not enough to operate pumps. They had a bit of a delayed start to the day until I realised, of course, I could switch my old switchboard across to the off-grid system and power everything up from that. So that got us going again. But I think Jemima was concerned that maybe if we couldn't use pumps from our well, we'd have to do the old bucket and rope idea. So there's going to be a pulley support put in for that apparently. So that's what this construct is about. It's formwork for columns either side. No doubt there'll be something across the top. And because it's a good idea for ours, it's a good idea for Lisa's. So that's what Palmer's preparing here. That's the two supports for each side. I thought it was time for the end of the day circuit and heard the machine reversing. So they're mixing up a batch of concrete or something for the first time today. It's been a hand mix of render and mortar previously today. So the east end of the east-west main canal also ties into other drainage systems, so a benefit to several houses here. later with granddaughter. There will be a grid of beams at that level for the front section, and the grid in this back section is going to be at least half a metre higher than that. It's all coming together. This span here is about 4.25 metres, so it's going to have to be a fairly substantial beam, just like the one out for the front porch. Looks like they're clearing off Lisa's back patio to tile that. That'll be what this current mix in the machine's for. Still rendering the outside of the tanks, and I saw from the earlier video that they'd rendered the inside. New shouty cats, so this one's a shouty kitten. Could be a late night of tiling tonight. It's about 10 to 8. And quite a bit of work to do before that's done for the night, I think. I guess they're doing it tonight so that it's ready to use tomorrow, because this is the area they use for feeding the workers on the shed project. There was another thunderstorm first thing this morning, so it's wet again. Doing this until about 1:20 this morning. I know this because I was up to go to the toilet at that time and heard them talking and the departure of the motorcycle scooter. So it took a while. But at the moment they're loading the concrete into the columns for the wells. This is where we need a concrete vibrator. This must be disappointing for the chicken. Can't leave footprints. Despite the light rain, the work continues on the form work for the horizontal beams in the shed. It's time for the afternoon circuit. I'm a firm believer in not using structural wood, because structural wood around here isn't going to last in the climate. It's good for 3 to 5 years tops. But in construction, there's a lot of wood used on a temporary basis, and this is a new delivery that's just come on Azra's truck. So yeah, we're not doing the forests a lot of good around here. Well, the west end of the tank is mostly done. Sweeping the water out, apparently. So that tells us that they've cut that pipe down to height. So as the formwork is starting to show, we actually have diagonal stays in the corners at this end and at that. You can see the first one there. More steel just turned up. This building is going to be so strong. If I'd known what was going to happen, I would have got that on video. He reversed the truck down there and jammed the brakes on, so that it half slid off. And then he accelerated forward and slid it all the way off. That was impressive. Now we have some more mesh turning up. I wonder if that's one we had already or a new one. So they're tiling the inside. Well, that's good because it means there'll be less concrete flavour in the water, less calcium sort of leaching into it. That's good, because I was a bit concerned about that from the point of view of the fish later on. So maybe when we do tanks for the aquaponics, maybe we need to line those with tiles as well. Oh god, this is going to get expensive. Got the next diagonal brace up the end there. And pile of rock fill is gone now, and we're back to transferring gravel. Many more wheelbarrow fulls there. So here we are at end of day. Formwork still goes up. Rendering on the outside of the tank. It's complete on the west and north sides. South end of the tanks is done too. So we're going to start on rendering the south wall of the workshop itself. There's still a big mound out the front, which is slowly moving around the back. There's another downpour overnight, so as you can see, we have a road which is more likely a river at the moment, and a very full drain. So yeah, it's been a bit wet. Not quite as wet that way. But yeah, it's a soggy old place, is Buckhook. The crew's hard at work. We don't have a problem with lack of power here, because this is actually connected up to my off-grid system. But at the moment there's Mati Lampu, meaning the grid power is actually off. So I've switched my old switchboard across using a cutover switch to run off the new switchboard. So the load is much higher than it would be normally. And I've got the generator running, which you can hear in the background. I run the generator until the solar input exceeds the load on the system. And I think it's about reached that point, so I can probably go turn the generator off now. And here's tiles going to go inside the water tank by the look of it. Two tiles. Yeah, well anyway, I'd better go and shut down this generator. Okay, I just checked the app, and the solar input is actually less than the load currently, so I'll leave the generator running. But yeah, lots of reinforcement going up on those horizontal beams in the top of the building. Lots of steel, good to see. I forgot to mention, it's Sunday, Christmas Day. These guys don't care, because they're all good Muslims. And they seem happy to work 7 days a week, because they appreciate the income. Generator input, I've shut off the generator now. It did contribute a bit of power there for a while. Because as you can see, the solar input is varying a bit, and the load, yeah, that does go up occasionally. Certainly confident that the solar input will go up and offset that, so that we don't get down to yeah. Well, I think I might just wrap this up and do another upload. It's a Muslim country. Yeah, okay, Merry Christmas for those who celebrate it.